Welcome, everyone. Call this meeting to order at 6:05. May we get a roll call, please?
Chair Nanette Rodriguez,
Present?
Counselor Aaron Salazar,
Present.
Counselor Manny Martinez,
Present.
Counselor Dorothy Valdez. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Counselors, before you have the approval of the agenda,
Motion to approve?
motion to approve by Counselor Manny Martinez, second by Counselor Aaron Salazar. Motion carries. Emma, may we have a roll call
Chair Nanette Rodriguez,
for the motion?
Counselor Aaron Salazar,
In favor.
Counselor Manuel Martinez.
In favor?
Motion carries.
Thank you. Please pardon me for not doing this before we started the meeting. I would like to acknowledge Counselor Manny Martinez and the loss that he has suffered. And if we could just take a moment of silence for him and his family. We lost a really strong person that gave to this community in many ways, and she is going to be greatly missed. Emma, do we have public comment?
There's no one signed up for public comment.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is committee member comments. Any?
I do have a question. I was looking over some of the emails and I see that our pools are now open. Do we have monthly passes, summer passes for children or for adults? That they can pay into, or is it just strictly as they go in?
Thank you. To my understanding, it's for the Lucero Center, it can be monthly or it can be day pass. And the Ranchitos pool, I believe, is day pass only. And then I'll address some of those other questions and hopefully some solutions in my report. But to my understanding right now, it's day pass only. Like you just pay per visit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No further comments from committee members?
If I may, I just want to thank everybody. I've had a very outpouring of a lot of people that have called me, text me, or emailed me, Facebooking, that kind of stuff. Now at the loss of Verna, and I have to say thank you. Helping the community was something that was a big passion of hers since day one. I mean, that's what she did all her life, and I know I'm going to miss her. I already do, and but I thank you all. Sorry if I get emotional. She taught me how to do that, and it's one of the things I wish she didn't.
That's a good thing. Matters from the chair is next on the agenda. I really don't have anything pending, so we'll just move forward. We have discussion and recommendation items to full council. The intent of recommendation items placed on the city committee meeting agendas are recommended by majority of the committee to the full council for final approval and or denial by the governing body. Espanola Valley Arts Festival, co-sponsorship. Jeremy?
If I may, we have two committee members here. We have the Vice President, Ms. Caroline Salazar, and we also have Ms. Gabriela. That's also with the Art Festival. The Art Festival, this is the 38th annual Espanola Valley Arts Festival. It will be held on September 23rd and the 24th. We have always had it held, well, for at least for the last, I'm gonna say close to, since the plaza was created, it's been held at the plaza. Prior to that, it was at Northern New Mexico College, which was Northern New Mexico Community College at the time. And of course, we want to continue to have this event. It's a tricultural festival, traditionally gives ribbons to all the winners in each of the judged categories. And with your support, will enable us to continue to host this great event and give a venue where all the local artists, and when I say local, I mean not just Espanola, but all the way to Abiquiu, Taos, Los Alamos, Santa Fe, even some in Albuquerque, I believe, have come to participate in this event. And our Miss Sherry has been a winner many times. It's wonderful art. If you've never seen her art, you have to see it. It's incredible. And all of it is. I'm just glad that I'm never a judge, and I don't want to be a judge. I have to judge one category at the end, but that's tough enough as it is, and I could not imagine what they have. And I've heard them. We try to get judges, and they decrete every bit of that, and I'm like, it looks beautiful to me, you know? But they'll point out stuff that I don't see, of course. But it's a wonderful event if you've never attended it. It's not just art as far as painting, pottery, you name it, every type of art that we can think of, weaving, basket making. Mrs. Steinman, she makes this wonderful art. Yeah, I mean, out of plants. I mean, just plants that grow, and it's pine needles. I don't know what the heck she made out of pine needles. I was like, oh my God, she created that out of pine needles. And so it's a wonderful thing that we just want to continue. Of course, this year we're late on this, and it's my apologies. I wasn't even sure if I was going to do this or wanted to do this, but I have to say something, and that was the day prior to Verna's passing. That night, we were watching a movie, and she looked at me and she said, "What have you done with the Arts Festival?" Because just so you know, Verna's our secretary treasurer. And I said, well, nothing. You went in the hospital in February, and I really haven't done nothing, you know. She goes, oh, left it at that. We continued watching the movie. And then she says, well, bring me my computer. I think I can still help. And I said, oh, okay. She goes, but, Manny, and she went like this, you're going to have to step it up. So I'm going to try and step it up. So we cannot let this go. I know this was a passion of hers. We also lost another one of our members, Mr. Ron Martinez, earlier this year in January. January 1st, I believe, or it was December 31st, right? One of those 2 days. Another major artist and member of the community, multi-winner in the Santa Fe Hispanic Arts. And so we cannot let this die, and I'm not going to let it die. And I know that they're not going to let me either. So I humbly ask if this committee will support this and continue this great, to me it's a really great quest that we have, and we want to continue it going.
Absolutely. I think, do you have a list of items that you need from us?
What I have requested, of course, is we're requesting the use of the Plaza de Española, the Misión Convento, including bathroom facilities, trash bins, and 2 porta potties. From there, we will have all volunteers that will work the area. I'm not sure which one of these young ladies are going to take over the children's area, because that was Verna's passion, was with the kids. She always had multiple events throughout the weekend, all for the children, and that's what she did throughout. So we want to, of course, continue that as well.
Jeremy, will that be an issue to have the bins, the 2 porta potties available, and have the Misión Convento available for the Arts Festival?
Oh, not a problem at all. Absolutely. I fully support the arts and having local artists and doing an event like this. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'll make sure that it gets on the calendar ASAP, and that we make it happen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Make a motion to take to full council for approval for the sponsorship of the festival. We do.
Thank you. I'm not sure if since I am part of it, if I can vote on this or not.
I think since you don't have a financial interest in this, that it doesn't, that there's not a conflict of interest.
Okay, in that case, I will second it.
Okay, motion made by Counselor Saad to take this to full council, second by Counselor Manny Martinez. Is there any further discussion? Committee members, do you want to come forth and share anything about the Arts Festival? Please do, come up.
Good evening, Espanola. My name is Carol Ann Salazar. I'm the Vice President for the Arts Festival. And if there's anybody out there that would like to join our membership or even just go help out with the youth and in doing los ojos or coloring or small pottery events and stuff, you're more than welcome to join us. And thank you all for your support. We greatly, greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm Gabriela Silva, and I'm a member of the Española Arts Festival, as well as part of Northern New Mexico Regional Arts Center, which we actually help support the Arts Festival and whatever they need. So and Manny knows we're always there for him, whatever we need. I love working with the kids. I just have to say that the Arts Festival has been an amazing thing for me. I always, I get sentimental because I have to say that Española really acknowledged my art. I've done art my whole life, but one thing the Arts Festival did for me and Verna and many of them, they really, showcased my art that I did here. And I thank you for my work. Thank you for giving me Best of Show. I really appreciate that and many other awards I got from you guys. I really appreciate it. And I didn't really know you guys then, so I am very thankful for that and for bringing the best out of all of us. And anybody out there, as you say, please come out and be part of the Española Arts Festival. It's one of the best arts festival that I've been to, and I've been to many. So I have to say this is one of the best really folk art, real true art festival that you will see throughout New Mexico and the country. So please come and join us because we really do a great job here. And Manny, thank you, and Verna as well for everything you've done.
Councilor Manny, I'm also available that day for like background, any work, takedown, setup, cleanup. Just give me a call and I'll be available for you, sir.
I appreciate that.
Me too.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I just want to say, thank you for continuing to work on this arts festival. It's a lot of work to put something together like this, but it's really important to showcase all of the talented artists we have in Northern New Mexico. So thank you. Thank you, Manny. Chairman?
And I do have one thing to add. I noticed that the poster contest is going to be on Friday, July 28th. That's also a date scheduled for the Native Winds Music on the Plaza. So I think it's actually, they won't interfere with each other. I think that we can use that crowd and have more people attend the poster contest. So I think it's really, we can promote it then. It'll be in the evening, yeah. It's typically 7 to 9, so yeah.
Okay, that'll work.
If that works, so yeah, I don't think it won't be a conflict. I think it'll actually, they'll promote each other, yeah.
Okay, that sounds really good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I think we have a motion on the floor to take this to full council. Emma, would you call the roll, please,
Chair Nanette Rodriguez,
for the motion?
Counselor Aaron Salazar,
In favor?
Counselor Manuel Martinez.
In favor?
Motion carries.
Thank you, Ms. Emma, and thank you, Manny, and all of you, Gabriela and Caroline.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda, we have department reports, and this is our first meeting, and I want to welcome Mr. Jeremy Smith. He is our new Community Services Director, and this is a big position. and a lot of responsibility, and I think he was baptized by fire at one of our city council meetings, and we welcome him. We're excited to have him. So welcome.
Thank you, and thank you for the introduction and the welcome. I have enjoyed every day that I've been here so far. It's always something new and exciting happening in the Community Services Department. I just have a few notes from my end, specifically what's happening. Obviously, each department will be giving their report shortly, but the first one is the speakers at the Sportsplex were installed, and they finalized that installation late last week. So I know that was one of those items that had been on the to-do list for a while. So that's completed, and I'll get the rundown on how that operates. And all the systems locked up in the concession stand, and the speakers are mounted up high, so it'll be a nice audio system at the Sportsplex there for when there's events happening. The recreation typically my background. I have quite a bit of experience with recreation programming, as well as public art, kind of a weird combination, but that is typically my background that I was brought to this position for. And the first sports camps that I've scheduled for this summer, we're going to have a basketball camp on July 17th through the 21st. That's going to be taught by an ex-NBA basketball player out of Albuquerque, Marvin Johnson. So, yeah.
I used to see him play.
Yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So he's going to come up that week, and that will be free for the first 40 basketball players age 9 to 14 that sign up for that. That's what we're using some of our recreation funds for July 17th through the 21st, and that will be in the morning at the Lucero Gymnasium there. And he'll be coaching two groups, the younger ones and then the older ones, all week. And yeah, so I've hired him before. He does a really good job. So they will walk out of there with some new skills for sure. The second one is a soccer camp that will be July 24th through the 28th. This will be with another organization I've worked with before. It's UK Soccer. They bring in young soccer players from the UK that teach the skills and drills, and they bring all the equipment. The kids get a t-shirt. Once again, that's free for the first 40 that sign up for that. The recreation department's going to be paying for that. We will have that at the Sportsplex because that has the best surface out there with the artificial surface, nice shady area, and restrooms. So that will be happening again July 24th through the 28th. So you can sign up today if you got any soccer players that want to learn some skills from the UK. That one is a little bit younger. I didn't bring the flyer. I think it is as young as 6 and up to about 12 or 13 as well. The flyers will be distributed around town later this week. All right, next item, I'm looking at, so we have a contract to take care of the workout equipment, so the weights, the cable machines, and ellipticals and treadmills at the recreation center. Next week they're going to come and take a look at what we have at the senior center as well and try to get some of that equipment, the old equipment replaced that's needed, and some new equipment in there. Typically you do a 3 to 5 year lease with these companies, and they'll come and maintain it. Anything that's under warranty they'll replace. So just to kind of make some improvements over at the senior center. It does get a significant amount of use by the 50+ community, and so I just want to make sure that all that equipment is operational. Side note, the fire department is no longer using that as kind of their after-hours workout space. They now have their own that they're using, so they won't be impacting any of that equipment. The next item on the to-do list is in regard to tracking membership. And right now, if you buy membership at the recreation center, you just have a handwritten card that says when it expires. I want to upgrade to a system that tracks members. Their liability waiver will be digital. It'll be on the system. They'll scan in with a card that has a barcode. It reads it. That way we know who they are. We can track who's in the facility, because if there's an issue and somebody just leaves, or, you know, it's like, well, we don't know who they are. They had a card or they did a day pass. So now if you're in the facility, we know who you are. We know what time you came. We have your contact information, parents, liability, emergency, in case something happens, we know who to call. So there's a number of tracking systems out there. It'll also take payments for any of the day use or any of the right there payments like snacks or water that's being sold. So that's going to be within the next month or so. I'll get that system upgraded. Right now at the Outdoor Aquatics Center at Ranchitos Pool, there is not internet, so we can't install that system. Jordan is taking a look at possibly getting internet there from the new police department. We think we can just kind of beam it over from there if they have a direct line of sight. That'll allow us to use memberships there as well, and potentially if somebody buys a membership, it could include the being able to swim at the outdoor pool, indoor pool, all on one. So we're getting there. And that internet there will also allow us to take credit card payments at that site. Right now, without internet, it's just cash only. So that's in the works. Hopefully by the end of the summer, we'll have that up and running. Alarms. So Emma and I were going through the alarms that are under Community Services Department, and with Gabriella's help as well, we've narrowed it down that we had 4 alarm systems, and only one was operational and working. So I've worked with the company. They're going to upgrade all of the keypads, make sure that if an alarm is triggered, it calls the correct person, whether it be me or Gabriella, if it's in her space, or Bond House, just to make sure if their alarm is triggered, somebody's being called and something's happening. It's not just, you know, a silent alarm that's not getting answered. So we're getting things sorted out with that, and that will be also be happening over the summer to make sure that those are up and running and functional, especially the Bond House where we have a lot of nice things. There are still a few open positions in the Community Services Department, mainly the Recreation Coordinator. Right now, Ashley is still doing aquatics and recreation and is doing a great job with both. Aquatics has been keeping her busy the last few weeks, and I'll cover her report because she's taken some time off because she has been putting in so many hours with that, so I'll get to that report later. I'm still looking for a part-time clerk at the Recreation Center and an admin assistant for myself. So those positions are posted, and so if you know anyone that would like to do those jobs, have them apply ASAP. And then just the update on Native Winds. So we have secured the dates for the Music on the Plaza. Those will be Friday evenings, typically 7 to 9, maybe 6 to 8 on July 14th, which will be the week after Fiesta, July 28th, and then August 11th are the ones that are solidified. Possibly the other one later in August, depending on schedules. They're working on the bands, they're getting the bands booked, they're getting sponsorships, and Native Winds is really excited about bringing some live music. Yes, Native Winds Radio, out of Taos. Yeah. So bring a lawn chair and enjoy some live music on the plaza this summer. Yeah. And I think that's it for my report, unless I'm missing something glaring.
Any questions?
Just a quick question on Native Winds. Are they going to be every Friday or just those?
So the original proposal was for 10 Fridays this summer, and I felt like that was going to be a bit much to start with, and I wanted to do fewer events really well. Okay. And get established and be like, and make sure like this is a quality event and make people want to keep coming back for more. I didn't want to try to do too much the first year and kind of fizzle out. So I think we'll get some really good Fridays, up to four this year. Food booths, hopefully, families going down, and some more sponsorships and some recognizable bands in the community. And I think this is just kind of the start on something. So potentially will grow, hopefully will grow the next few years. Yeah, yeah.
Jeremy, you mentioned your open positions, rec coordinator, part-time clerk, and an admin. How many lifeguards are you needing, or are you?
Currently, we're just doing the onboarding for the last 2 needed positions of lifeguards this week and next week. So we're good on lifeguards. We'll continue to have both pools open through the summer.
Both will be open?
That's the plan. As long as we don't, as long as we keep the current lifeguards that we have in number, so yeah.
And so do you have any idea what that schedule will look like?
Ashley was working on that last night, and I believe she's hoping to have the outdoor pool, the Ranchitos pool, open Monday through Friday, most of the day, like 8 to 5, and I'm digging deep into my memory from yesterday, and then 8 to noon on Saturdays is the plan. So 5 days a week during the week, open 8 to 5, and then noon, 8 to noon on Saturday. And that's when they've typically seen the most usage on Saturdays. Like people come in the mornings, and then in the afternoons it's getting hot, or they've got other plans, so it just kind of dwindles down in the afternoon. So I think with her staff that she has now, and including keeping the Lucero Center open for the lap swimmers and the aquatics fitness classes that happen, and then the evening lap swimmers. I think there's another aqua aerobics that happens in the evening as well. So that's the plan, having both of those. That one staying with its typical hours, and then the outdoor one open 6 days a week.
I'm really happy to hear that, because there's a lot of community members that would prefer to be indoors, especially those that are older, right? They don't want to be out in the sunlight. So I'm happy to hear that, because usually Lucero Center closes down and all we have is Ranchitos. I'm also equally happy to hear that we're going to be open at least partially on Saturday, because I feel like that is when families want to utilize our facilities, is on the weekend, and typically we're not open weekends. Yes, I think we should work towards that if we can. I know the problem is staffing.
It is, yes, yep.
But hopefully that can be a goal that we
Yeah.
set.
Yeah, and I think with the pool being open, you get more interest in people, and then also in lifeguards that could be working there. So yeah, and the soft opening is tomorrow at noon for the outdoor pool. Tell all your swimmers. Yep. So Thursday this week, Friday this week, it'll be open from noon to 5, noon to 4, something like that. So yeah.
Well, that was a good report. Thank you. Sounds like you were really busy. A lot of important things that need maintenance that you're taking care of that had not been happening. So thank you. Appreciate it. So next on the agenda, we have Ms. Sherry. Would you come up, Ms. Sherry?
Good evening, Chairwoman, committee members. How are you doing? Good, how are you? Doing well, thank you. As you can see, my library report here for the month of May, we hired on a new children's programs coordinator, a Brianna Bird Martinez, who just started in May. And we've actually started our summer reading program, which is the theme of All Together Now. And that's going to run from June 1st to July 28th. We've had about maybe 53 so far as of today, children that have signed up for the summer reading program. That's children and teens. And I actually have probably about maybe 15 adults who have signed up for the adult reading group. So on the children, it's 6 to 18, yes. And for the library, we've actually changed our hours here in July. We're now open Monday through Thursdays from 8:30 to 6, and Fridays 8:30 to 5. And we've done some Saturdays. The Saturdays are a bit slow right now. We just have our staff coming in and opening. But hopefully, we'll get, we did go to the radio station, Cadisa, and we did, tell everybody that we were changing our hours and opening a little bit later and staying open on Saturdays. So hopefully we'll pick up here pretty soon. Our grab and goes are every Tuesdays again, and we've had so many grab and goes that we've given out. A lot of the staff do probably about maybe 20 right now, 20 crafts per staff. So all those 20 go out every Tuesday. So that's, 20, 40, 60, almost 80 crafts that go out every Tuesdays. And I think that's a really good, point of, the parents coming in, the kids come in. So it's really picking up now. The in-person activities, we have had several different ones. We've had the Wonders on Wheels van come out, and they were parked here in the parking lot. So we've had probably about maybe 58 people that had gone to see the van. We had the New Mexico Wildlife Center. We've had some activities in the library. Today we had the Children's Exploro Science Center come down, and we actually had computer classes, which I had five people that came for computer classes. On Friday, we have the Pajarito Environmental Education Center coming over and doing a story hour in the afternoon. And then next week, we have a movie afternoon, of course, with free popcorn and drink. And then at the end of the month, we have Santa Fe Children's Museum coming down to do a program with the kids also. Story walks are every Thursday, and we have them here in Valdez Park. So we have a lot of the signs that we have, and we put the stories on the signs so they can go down and just, put them in the ground, and they give out a lot of the prizes. The kids bring their reading logs, and they get double points if they come every time they come to the story walk, which they work towards a bigger prize at the end of summer. The statistics for May, we had total circulations, which means how many books and items went out, was 1,729. Computer usage, 243. For May, library tours and programs, we had 1,475 people who attended those 14 programs. Items cataloged, 250, and that's Peter, who is my cataloger, and that's counting audiobooks, books, and DVDs. Security gate count, 2,505 people have come through the doors. New library cards that were given in May, 43. Reference questions answered, 420, and Wi-Fi users, 253. And all these numbers have actually moved up for July. So it's going to be, totally different now that we are moving into July. Total revenue for the library in May was $495.30, which you can see compared to last year's is a little bit higher, and we're slowly moving up. And we'll actually be taking the kids to the opera again next month. And they'll be going on July 18th and the 25th. So they have two different operas that they could go to, and we're just waiting to sign up a lot of the kids for it. On the 25th is one of the ones where they have the dinner for them, and they can actually choose a dinner.
How do kiddos sign up?
We just have them come in if they're signed up through the summer reading program, or just come in, and once we put the information out, they can come in and sign up for that. It's really good. And the opera provides the transportation, so they, well, the age is, again, 6 to 18? Yes. So we have a lot of kids, so hopefully they all sign up and they all want to go and experience the opera, and, I think it's really wonderful. I chose the opera that was only an hour long, so. And I think that's it. If you have any questions? Yes. Duct tape days. That we actually worked with duct tape, and they were making little bags, and they were putting the duct tape on Ziploc bags.
But she knew how to use duct tape. So if she needed to, hem a dress or something, you'd always find duct tape on the inside.
That's nice. I like that idea. And it probably lasted a while. Yeah, so that's one of the programs that the kids really loved, and we're starting to get a lot of more people into the library, so it's wonderful to see it being busy again compared to the past, 2-3 years, so. It's good.
In your numbers, what kind of surprised me is that the Wi-Fi users have gone down, but your new library cards went up, which is great.
Yeah.
Because kids are wanting to read.
Yes. And,
That's nice to see.
yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Sherry, for everything, all the projects, activities, everything you do for all the kids and everything. Was the library, is it open on Saturdays usually, or are you just starting this as well? Like,
We just started here in July.
okay.
Yeah, so we're, like I said, we're slow, but, we're in June,
So
actually.
we're
We just started first.
again, families wanting to go. Thank you, really appreciate that, having the pools, the library, everything, starting to open up on a Saturday. Maybe not all day, but at least giving them a half day. It's really good. Thank you, really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You're welcome. Just need people to come in on Saturdays. Yeah.
Ms. Sherry, how do you advertise for all the wonderful programs that you provide to our community? Because I think it's really important to try and get the word out there. I know you post on Facebook, I've seen that. I'm just thinking there's got to be another way for us to get all of these wonderful things out to our community, because we often hear that there's not a whole lot of things to do, and yet you have a whole agenda for children to participate in, and it's really good stuff, I'm excited.
Yeah,
So I'm sure they would be excited to participate.
yes.
So, I don't know, counselors, any ideas on how we can,
I send a lot of information to the Rio Grande Sun, and I don't really see it in there a lot of times, even though they ask for it and I send it. It's just kind of hard to see when it's going to come up, or when you're going to see a little snippet of library stuff happening, And we do a lot of, Peter, one of my employees, will post it on the city website, on the Community Services city website. So he puts all the information there also. And just kind of, generally word of mouth, once when we do story hour or we're out there, we try to invite people to come in and start doing, the library's open, this is what we, do. We see kids, it's kind of crazy that we run after the kids when it comes to the library, but it's, you can get free grab-and-go bags, this is what we offer. So, and there's a lot of parents that have brought their kids back now that we give them the information and stuff, so.
so I have a question for both of you, because you go to Santa Cruz de la Cañada and you go to Sacred Heart Parish. Is there any way that we could, yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good place to advertise.
Okay.
Or as church bulletin, as you said.
Yeah, I think that's
Especially
it.
since it's all geared to children, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. Does, I know the city has a Facebook page, but I think we need a community services Facebook page, separate from the regular city business. That's just announcing all the different activities that's going on within the city. Where you can really showcase
Yeah.
the library.
And one of my other staff members, Michael, he runs the 2 marquees that are in town, so he tries to post a lot of the information up there whether it's from, you know, the library, the arts center, the senior center, recreation, you know, but sometimes you know, you can't read that fast because it's moving
Yeah,
so
we're
much.
parked at the red light, trying to read with them.
I know, I stayed looking
Or
at
you're
it.
trying to take a picture of it with.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it would be great to get, you know, some ideas of how we can bring more people back into the library again, you know, because I know within the time of COVID, a lot of people got computers and, you know, everybody wants ebooks, so it's easier to stay at home to do that. I hear you.
But COVID did change times for
Yeah.
everything and every industry.
Yeah.
And Councilor Manny mentioned, you know, nothing like a book and a newspaper. So if we take it to the Sun, maybe we, you know, just communicate with them how important it is for us to get these kids out here. Maybe they'll start posting a lot more or something, just communicating more with them at the Sun. Or whomever. I don't know.
My sister runs the Small Business Development Center at the college, and I know that they've had to really change the way of helping businesses run things. But
Yeah.
you don't have to be a business in order to become a client and to get their help and ideas. So
Okay.
I can pitch this to her and see if the library could become a client of hers, and that way she can help with different ideas, networking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, okay. That'll be great.
That's a good idea. Well, thank you for everything that you do.
You're welcome. Thank you very
Your
much.
Staff as well, and continue to do the awesome job that you're doing. Thank you,
Thank you very
Sheriff.
much. Thank you.
See, I'm so excited now I'm lost. Next on the agenda is the Senior Center report, and Jeremy, are you doing that? Oh, Dora's on. Hi, Dora.
Good evening, Chair, members of the council. How was everyone? Can you hear me?
Good, thank you, Dora.
Yes. First of all, I want to say I've been out of the senior center for a while now. I've been on FMLA. As of this week, I've been taking a full FMLA. It's been a little bit of a challenge with my mom, so I apologize I haven't been there. But as far as my report here, as you can see, we have in revenue gone down from last year on May 2022, a little bit there. I can't give you reasons why. I know there's a few of the seniors that have passed, but we are with the senior centers for the Rio Arriba County that have opened up a little bit more. So it might be the reason for the little bit of the decline. We continue to host the offices for the Mesa to Mesa, although they have been a little bit dormant with our offices there at the senior center. I understand that the director there also has taken some time to actually be with family members. We continue to rent the office for the Dream Tree project at the Stroke Center. We continue to have the entertainment for the seniors, which they love on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the Zumba with the Silver Sneakers, Raimundo Rodriguez and Guillermo Osoria. They love to dance with them there. They enjoy that very much. The senior committee continues to do fundraisers for the entertainments as well. They had a cakewalk on the 14th that went really well. They will be meeting here once a month. They have classes with some of the seniors, Tuesdays with Miss Esperanza, doing the jewelry classes, watercolors, coloring, and I haven't heard anything from the Department of Health. They were gonna actually continue doing the vaccinations for the COVID since January. I believe they haven't been back. We also have one of our seniors, Miss Charlotte. She gets a group together making card greeting cards, and that one is on Thursdays as well. They continue to do their puzzles, nail time, their coffee, their socialization, which they love. And I leave it at that, guys. I know that the gym itself is going down on numbers as well too. Like Jeremy says, the firefighters no longer utilize that gym. So I'm glad to hear that Jeremy is working on kind of bringing that equipment up to par. I know when I was there, I was trying to get some monies to try and upgrade those much needed exercise machines. And hopefully we can get there. Any questions, anybody?
Only that I wish you would have called me before lunch for those Tewa tacos today. That's about it.
Yeah, one of everybody's favorites there.
Yep.
Dora, I have a question. Where are we with the purchases of the vans that we approved early on?
So the vans had to be ordered, and I know that they were going to take several months to come in. I know that they said they probably wouldn't be ready until November. I did send in the quotes that they sent us as far as them ordering it. I sent it to our CM to see how he could actually secure the monies that we got for those vans with that quote. I haven't heard anything from him back. Whatever we had left over, we did purchase a Maverick truck for whenever we have to pick up a few seniors here and there. Other than that, that's all I have. But they should be ready towards the end of the year.
So how many vans were ordered? 2?
2, yes.
And do you have anything to report on the lighting at the senior center in the parking area that you also were working on?
I actually turned in that project. I know Jeff had taken it over. I turned it in over to Jeremy. I'm not sure if he's gotten with Jeff. The last I heard, they were actually trying to change a little bit of the final plans that they had agreed on. Jeremy came in right around that time. Mr. Jeremy, do you have any updates on that?
I recently learned about this project. It sounds like some of the funds were spent a majority of the funds for that project were spent to increase the number of wheelchair access parking spots on the east side of the parking lot right against the building, and to do a curb cut there and paint and install the handrails that are necessary for that. And I think that took up a significant amount more than what they had originally expected. And so the second phase, which is to basically trench and install more light posts in the parking lot, was going to be quite a bit more than what we had left. So right now, General Services is looking at updating there's only 2 poles in the parking lot, so they're looking at updating the wiring on that, removing the ballasts and installing, or basically a ballast that isn't like I can't remember the name for it, but basically, so you can put an LED light in there instead of the halogen one, so you don't need the ballast, so it's a ballast bypass. And then possibly some lights on the back, just to get that the parking lot better lit for now. So I think that's within the budget that was originally approved to make that happen.
I think that's really important because it is pretty dark out there. We have people renting the facility for different things, right? And when you come out into the parking lot, it's dangerous.
Yep.
That's a liability.
Yep. Yeah, so I just met with Jeff late last week, so we kind of got the ball rolling on that. So that's the trajectory we're taking now, is to to work with what we have and get those lights going.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know a time frame on that currently.
Councilors, any questions? Thank you, Ms. Dora, for your
You're welcome.
report and for the work that you and your staff have done at the senior center. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Ms. Gabriela. Oh, I skipped it. Sorry. Thank you for catching that. I have it checked off.
The
My
recreation.
mistake. Recreation report. Mr. Jeremy.
All right, like I said, Ashley's taking some much-needed time off now that the pool is ready to go, and I will be giving the report for recreation and aquatics. As you can see there, monthly revenue compared to last year's, patron counts, and I think same with the library that, you know, people's habits change over COVID, and so we're still kind of making up lost ground with gaining new members and rebuilding those habits of using the facilities that we provide. So I think we're on the right track where we've got some new ideas coming in, like possibly getting pickleball in by the end of the summer. If anybody hasn't played pickleball, I highly recommend it. It's an indoor paddle ball sport, great for ages 50 and up, but great also for all ages. So we'll be hopefully seeing some pickleball on the schedule soon. Pickleball, look it up, YouTube it. It's a lot of fun. Funny name, great game. I see the aquatics pool. So a lot of this this information. So there was a pressure test that was done that was failed. So that was the main reason for the delay in opening the pool. They had to get in there and fix that leak. It has been fixed. New drain covers have been installed. Those need to be replaced on a 3 to 5 year basis. And then there was some issues with the tiles that had been installed a few years ago. So those, I believe, were replaced under warranty while the warranty was still good. So those all are in. They look great. The deck the pool's is good to go. They did an acid wash. A little bit of maintenance on the pumps were happening and some gauges. And Ashley was on top of that and got that taken care of. The kiddie pool has been in need of something for quite some time, and I think if you go by and take a look now, you will be impressed with the upgrades that we have made. So instead of filling with concrete, instead of keeping it as is, which was basically a swamp, a mosquito haven, kind of with a fence around it. And sorry, I didn't make more copies or submit this in time for the agenda, but I have a few to share. We have built a redwood deck that is flush with the concrete around it. So basically it's a pool cover that is solid wood. And now you can, we'll have some shade structure over it. Potentially long-term, more of one of the canopies, you know, that's like coming from the building, so it could potentially be like a 20 by 30 shaded area right there, right at the front. So instead of the ice or swamp that was there, now it's a nice sunbathing area, picnic tables or something, it can be utilized. We're gonna remove a few of the sections of fencing that we can access it from poolside. It'll still have the safety fencing to keep, you know, people from running directly into the pool. Usually younger ones just go straight for the pool. So that's good to go. So that's what we're doing right now. I think it'll be a nice improvement. They did some painting on the front end, and we're also going to replace that circular window that's above the entrance and put a plexiglass window in there. Right now it's just painted plywood. For some reason it was never replaced with glass, probably because it was broken too many times. Yeah, so I think once you go to the, it'll take us a little bit to get that, the glass person was out of town for a while, so that's not gonna happen before opening, but the deck is there, and I think a huge improvement, so. and it leaves it open for potentially either reworking that wading pool, which is, looks like they're gonna have to dig down to find the problem, which is pretty pricey, or we could possibly look at doing something else, like a zero entry splash area on the side and redirecting that repair funds to something that's new and exciting. So I think that's probably 2 or 3 years out. So, but right now we've got a nice little sunbathing deck for you to work on your tan. I'm excited about it. It looks really good. The General Services did an amazing job with that in short notice, so happy to see that. Any questions about that?
No, I just want to say, awesome. Looks better than the swamp that was there. I was a little concerned at first because I thought, okay, well, what are the plans? We don't have much for our kiddos in this community. The baby pool, wading pool is really necessary, but you have a plan in place.
Yep.
That's really good to hear because succession planning is not something that we do, right?
We'll start.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch back up. The tankless. So the heaters, the showers are hot now. The old boiler that was very large was removed, and we installed 5 inline water heaters now. So there's hot water in the showers as well as in the bathrooms that are up front. So that is also another great improvement that was much needed, and those are up and running. So yep, good to go. Inspection was yesterday. Just a few delays, but if it was done yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon, and so now we are opening, like I said earlier, soft opening tomorrow and Friday, so noon to 4, noon to 5, the next 2 days, just to get the lifeguards up to speed on processes. We did hire. There was a lifeguard training and recertification, and we got 2 new lifeguards out of that. So they've been, like I said, they've been hired and onboarding, and I think we have 6 or 7 full-time lifeguards right now. So that's enough to keep everything open and running. And again, I want to commend Ashley on her hard work and dedication, making sure that the staff is there, the pool's functioning, and it's ready to go.
I want to recognize Ashley as well, because before you got here, she was holding everything together for the Recreation Department. And I just want to say that I frequent that facility, and you can tell when Ashley's not there, because when she is there, everyone is doing something and the facility is clean. When Ashley is busy at Ranchitos, things don't get done. And there's a huge difference. So she is dedicated, she works hard, and we're really lucky to have her. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree for sure. Yeah. And thank you. I'll pass that on to her as well. A few notes on the Lucero Center. The pool reopened on April 17th and has been busy. Classes and lifeguard training. And then you can see the recreational activities listed below that are on the schedule, as well as the boxing. And there was new cameras installed on the outside with an upgraded server. So there's more cameras. They have a better, clearer image of everything that's happening around the building and inside the building as well. And we have tested it so you can review footage and you can see pretty clearly what's going on around the building. So I think that's a great improvement. That's mostly with IT. That's what's happening with. I believe that's it for the recreation and aquatics. Are there any questions?
The water heaters, the on-demand water heaters, I'm sure it got inspected, but were they tested? You guys ran them, tested, no issues pressure drops or anything?
I don't know how extensively they tested them. I know they turned them on, and they do get hot water, and they've got the governors on there, so they're not they don't output the scalding water. I don't know what the pressure was like before compared to now, but yeah. Ooh, I'll find out. Yeah.
So, Jeremy, I just want to also mention that I think it's really important that when schedules change for whatever reason, and they do for all of us, if a staff person doesn't show up, that we try to give advance notice to our community, because a lot of the times classes are canceled, and it happens when people are coming to the facility. So people are standing out in the parking lot, and we're hearing, oh, we're not having class today because of whatever the reason might be. And I think it's only right that the community is given advance notice of changes that happen to schedules. Just like we're given when we go to doctors, or, you know, just any time that a schedule is changed, we should be notified.
Definitely, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's easy to make somebody very upset if they're expecting to do part of their routine, and they're kind of like, and suddenly they're not able to, and it just takes a little bit of effort to make that communication. And I think with the new membership tracking system, that we'll know who's in specific classes. Okay, these people are here for water aerobics, and then we can send out a push notification to those people that's happening. Or if the building's closed for some reason, it can go to everybody. And so that's one of those options on some of the applications that I've looked at, or some of the programs I've looked at, that those push notifications are an option, and you know, people can opt in or opt out depending on the notification. So if the library is closing early, or if there's, you know, mechanical malfunction in the pool, and the pool's closing but the rest of the facility is open, then that can go out to those that need to know. So yeah, I think that's
really
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Gabriela, thank you for your report.
Good evening, Chair of Community Services and City Council. Thank you for having me here, and our new Community Services Director, Jeremy, thank you for having me be here, of course. I think I had been asked to report our items that we actually have going on. I know we have a lot of different things that have changed because of COVID, of course. I really haven't had a chance to come up here and let you guys know the things that we've had to change because of COVID, because we've had, of course, damages in the gallery. So we have a lot of things that we have to do with our contract with the City of Espanola. And one of the things, of course, when our gallery, the Convento Gallery, is open now, it is newly renovated. We've painted it. I don't know if I know you've had a chance to come out and look at it, so it is different. We did have a lot of damage. We had over $27,000 damage in the gallery of artwork. So we've already covered that, so we're okay. We are back up to par, I think, in what we're doing. We have, of course, you know, over about 200 artists that we still consign their artwork in the gallery. One thing we want to do in the galleries, we're really trying to get people to come and visit our local folk that live here that tell us that they don't even know we're there. So one thing we want to provide is, of course, the snacks, and maybe have healthy salads and things like that, to try to bring people there to maybe have lunch or have something to come and see the gallery. That's something that we do have tourists that come. I think this week we had almost 50 that came since Tuesday. So from Tuesday till today, we had about 50 people that came from somewhere else. So that's always a great thing. We had people that, you know, are doing the Continental Divide from Chama coming down here. So, you know, it's trying to get people to come through here, stay in the valley. We had our seniors that did their tour up at the Bond House. So we have people that pretty much schedule things ahead of time, so we know who we can have, and usually it's me that is out there scheduling, doing the tours, either at the Bond House or, and the thing is, I mean, it's 9 to 5. They can call us. That we are in the Ultimate Guide. We have advertised in the newspaper. I want to go back to, of course, Sherry, and saying things that, you know, it's, for us to get people to come to do some of our things, it's like pulling teeth. I mean, we advertise in the Rio Grande Sun, we put ads in there, and people will come and say, why didn't you advertise? It was in the Rio Grande Sun, and it was a paid ad. So it's not like it was just a news brief. It was actually an ad that we put in there. We do that. We also put it, I know that they also put stuff on the marquee for us. And then if, like Sherry says, if we do send them a flyer for any other event we do try to have that posted on the city webpage. We are short-staffed. Friday I lost another employee, but I got a new one today, so I'm really happy about that. And then we have one volunteer. So the people that I have listed here for the gallery, that is what we have for our hours, Tuesdays through Fridays, from 11 to 5. We did move up from 12 to 4 for the summer hours. It's 12 to 5. And then if we have an event like the fiestas or we have the arts festival, we're pretty much open the 3 days. So we'll be open the whole time that those events are going on. So we always have staff for those days. The art exhibits are listed here. We have Tony Sanchez, which is actually coming down here in July. His work will be taken down. We usually leave about 3 pieces or more in the gallery, so we continue carrying their work in the gallery, and then we'll have others coming up. Diana Cordova is the next one coming up. She's a master painter. She did one last year, Best of Show, for the Espanola Arts Festival. She's a master painter. I don't know if Manny remembers her. She did the Hummingbird, and she's a master. She just does amazing work. So she'll be our next artist in the gallery. We have Ralph Torres. He does more like anime type of painting. Then we'll have Adrian Sykes. He actually does photographs of New Mexico, and he'll be specifically doing black and whites of the missions of northern New Mexico, which is very exciting. He's also a great photographer. So those are the things we have scheduled coming up for our art shows. And the Bond House Museum, of course, we work also with the Historic Society. Ooh, that went up loud. We work with them, and I'm also part of the San Gabriel Historic Society and also overseeing the Bond House, and we also ensure the collections at the Bond House. So NEMRAC does that for the city of Espanola. So we assess the collections. We already have a listing of them, so we don't really, the value we pretty much put in there is, I think it's over $1 million what our insurance covers in case things get stolen that belong to the city of Espanola. And those are items that are given, if there's a docent up at the Bond House and those items are given to the person that's there, those normally would belong to the city of Espanola. So those are the items that we assess, and they would be for the city of Espanola, the citizens, it belongs to the city. The Historic Society also has their collections that they have acquired, I think maybe photographs and things like that, that our insurance doesn't really cover because they're sentimental value items that it's hard to put a value on it if it's somebody that you don't really know, unless it's a famous person, you know, like, you know, a basketball player or somebody that somebody knows that lived in Espanola, then it has some kind of value. So those types of things are really hard for us to actually put a value on. For myself, you know, not being from here, I think you guys are the famous ones, so I would have to put a value on that. We do have, of course, the collections that we do help them with if they need docents during the day. So they have a list of docents that are up there different days, whereas for myself, they can just call me because we are in the Ultimate Guide. So if people see our number or they go into the city webpage, they can also call me, and we can schedule tours before 12 or during the weekend if people want. Normally Saturday would be a day, and then I can go ahead and let them in. And we just, usually if it's 5 or more, it's a great thing for them. If it's not, it's okay. I mean, I can't say no if it's like 2 people or 3 people. If it's one person, I try to ask them to maybe have more people come, because for me to get one person to have to tour them through the Bond House is just a lot of work, or the Mission. So that's why we now are sticking to the schedules that we have, because for me to be running back and forth to do those tours is just a lot of work. We will be having our exhibit. We just took ours down, which would have been the beginning of the year. We had Mark Winters, the governor's collections that we had, the blankets that were, I think most of you guys saw that collection we had up there. We'll have one coming up that we actually curate ourselves, and it's the slave blankets collection, which would be, I don't know, I know it doesn't sound, maybe we might change the name, but it's just people that were actually kidnapped from different pueblos for being master weavers, and so they became slaves and they were sold off on the plaza. And so these are really great collections that they were distinguished by the blankets that they wore, and so they would be, I don't know if you guys know those stories, but they're really great stories, and these are actually people from Rio Arriba County. They were probably the most valuable, and they are the most valuable blankets in the world. So this will be a show that we'll be doing before the end of the year. Also with Mark Winter, I collaborate with his collections, and I'll curate that collection as well. Let me take a breath. Let me see, the next thing we have, the classes at the Education Center. What we're doing now with the Education Center, of course, you know, COVID changed everything for us. We did start pick up and go lessons, and we already have those made. All of our lessons are part of the Heritage Arts because we did work with the Northern Rio Grande Heritage Center so they could help fund and match the funds that we get as well from the city of Espanola, and so that we can actually provide those. I think during COVID, we did over $37,000. We still have some of those lessons that people can actually pick up and go. They're between $10 to $30 lessons that people can give us. We also give them some that are free. They're of no cost. We are working with other groups. Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez, for having Derek also work with us, because we really enjoy the group that comes those days to work with us. Whenever, I mean, if they show up, they show up. It's okay. I mean, if they don't show up, it's okay. We're always ready for them to come when they come. We also have Teresa and other groups that actually do bring their kids. So what we're doing now, if it's 5 or more people and you can have a class that you want, we will create that class for you. It's kind of difficult for us to actually have a class and people don't show up for that class. So I think, as you know, for us, COVID has changed everything for us. So we now can create those classes or collaborate with other organizations or even go to the schools. We will work with the middle school as well to take them lessons for the 7th and 8th graders that go there, and then they'll have like lessons that we make for them. So Brett Berg actually will create some of the lessons for me, and then we take those to the middle school. So now we try to go out and reach out to the schools, and we'll take those things to them as well, because we want to keep those children busy. You know, right now we live in such a different world. Our children really have to stay busy. We can't leave them out. It's a really big part of our community. I mean, we might not see it in front of us, but they're there, they're out there, and they are reaching out to us, so that's a great thing. We do have the arts and crafts, of course. The adult painting, you know, the adults that we have that are seniors, that Thursday is the one they really want to do. It's something that I think that they can just do it anytime they want. I mean, all of our seniors want to paint oil painting every day if they could, and that's fine, but it's like a 3-hour session we can do. We've now tried to break it down, because before we were doing continuous 6-week sessions, and then we would take a 2-week break, and then another 6 weeks, and then 2-week break, but that just we lost a lot of our seniors, we've lost a lot of people. They now can go ahead and take those lessons home as well. We do have those lessons on Zoom, so we do share the lessons on Zoom. If anybody ever wants any of the lessons, we now own the lessons, and so we can now reach out to people all over the world, and they come. And so they want to know about Northern New Mexico. It changed us in a way that we can actually reach out to the world, and they know what we do in Northern New Mexico. So it's a really great thing. So we do from the tinsmithing to the micaceous pottery is one that everybody loves to do. I just got some, it's actually in the back of my car right now. Lois went in, they loaded up with clay for me yesterday, so it's all in the back of my vehicle. That's a lesson that goes out all the time. You know, we teach people how to, you know, do it in their oven at home and then do some pit firing outside. So it's something that we want to continue doing with the community. That's one that's always requested all the time. Another one we do on Saturdays, which is the first Saturday of the month, we do the arts and crafts. We're collaborating with a group here that is hosting the arts and crafts once a month. We do it in the old post office. And, you know, it's the little guys, the ones that are just starting out, you know, they're making little things, whatever it be. And so they're umbrellaing under us, and then we allow them, and I kind of help organize what they should and shouldn't do as an arts fair, you know, not like our Espanola Arts Fair that's been around forever, of course, but, you know, they kind of are following your lead in that area. The community quilting, that's been a real big hit. Of course, our quilters, we collaborated with Julie Garcia from the Quilters Corner. We did that during COVID, which was really nice because we still have those pick up and go lessons. So the children do hand quilting. The adults, we try to make at least one quilt every second Saturday of the month. So we've already given over 200 blankets. Some of them went up to up in Las Vegas. So we're giving, and the police department and the fire department are also getting them. So we just have maybe one person that we talk to, and they're the ones that come and pick up our 20 blankets every month that they get from us. And it's just for children in need, you know, if they have a fire or something happens in their home. So that's been a really great thing on those Saturdays. You guys are more than welcome to come. And if you want to learn how to quilt, it's a great thing. And we'll have to collaborate with you as well, Sherry, on those Tuesdays. I know we're always busy doing something. We have the Española Youth Day that's coming up during the fiesta, so NEMRAC does host the Youth Day. We'll have Joseph Asensio Lopez. He'll be the guest artist that will be sponsored by the Northern Rio Grande Heritage Center. He'll be making the traditional retablos for the children. They'll be making 3 things. They'll do the drawing, the retablos, and the a heart. I have to throw the heart in there because we are the heart of Northern New Mexico. We have to make something having to do with the heart. So I have to always put that in there. It's a big part of it. Everything comes out of here. It's like the arteries, you know, you see the map, you see these arteries. So the children will make the 3 items, and then after that, today he decided we want to go ahead and give them a certificate, and then after that they'll get a nice treat. I don't want to say what the treat is because, you know, it's a big deal. We want everyone to come. All the children between 6 and 12-year-olds, it's open to them to come and work with us for 3 hours. And once they're finished, we're collaborating with PMI, and they'll be providing free hot dogs for everybody. And that's anyone that comes from family members or anyone after that. It'll be after our event. What else do I have here? Yeah. I think we'll be doing that in the old post office. We'll be doing the workshop in there, and it'll start like from 10, and it'll be over at 1. Normally, we provide a lunch for everybody that comes, and it's usually up to 30 or more, but it starts at 10, and sometimes the kids don't want to get up, or, you know, we have space for the parents as well to come and sit, and they'll get helmets with everything they get. So that's kind of like a hint. Anyways. Another thing, okay, so that's always a big event for us, and we really enjoy hosting that Youth Day. And I think we also have the Santa Fe Chamber Music that's coming up, and then that'll be a great thing we do with the Santa Fe Chamber Music because they get a grant for that. So we'll have whoever wants to come as well on that day, which is the 24th of July. We'll meet on a Monday in front of the fountain, and they'll send a bus to pick anyone, children to come or go with us to Santa Fe and see the chamber music, which is a great event. We really enjoy that. And I just want to say, we also used to do the Santa Fe Opera, but I think we were kind of conflicting in things as well with the library and the things we would host also. Tailgate party. So I think when a lot of us are doing a lot of the same things, it conflicts. So I would rather send somebody to another organization. That way, for them to send a bus, like it's about $375 for them to send a school bus to pick our children up. So we really have to kind of pick and choose, you know, who's going to be doing what. So for us, I know that Sherry works really hard to get people to go to the Santa Fe Opera, and when they do the rehearsal opera, I mean, it's a great event for our children. And I notice for us, it's a big event for their parents as well. So, I mean, they really try to fill up that whole stadium with people to come out there. And when they see empty seats, you know, it's not a good thing because they give so many tickets out for that. It's really a great event. So we are also working on that as well. It's not on there because we don't have, for us, they really want us to have 50 to 60 people, and it's mainly 5 to 1 adult. So for me to have 1 adult to 5 children, we have more adults to 1 child. So we have to have a balance, and they don't provide us transportation. We actually have our families have to take their children, but it's always a great event as well. We have, of course, the Española Valley Arts. I added in there the Youth Herbal Project, because every day somebody adds a new event we're doing. So we are now collaborating with it's called the Youth Herbal Project. It's out of Chimayo, and we're going to be doing distilling, and it'll be herbal distilling. It's not like, you know, how to make hydrosols and spritz. That's something I do, so they've always asked me for many years if we could teach them how to do that. Yes, ma'am. Of course you can, yeah, of course. And so we'll be sharing a lot of things, and it's really mainly to the Youth Herbal Project is a great thing. You know, it's getting people away from drugs and teaching them how to do things at home that they can, you know, treat themselves, do whatever, and not have to get in trouble. I mean, that's all I have to say. But that's something I do enjoy doing. I can and teach them how to do a lot of different things. So that's one thing they've asked me to do for many years. So that'll be on the 28th of August. It'll be an all-day event, so we'll be hosting that. And we'll also be working with the Northern Rio Grande Heritage, because they also want to bring artists to actually, that they could pay and talk in the Mission, and then we would do the workshops in the Ed Center. So we're trying to get people to kind of do both things, where they can hear the artist talk and then go do the workshop in the old post office. So I'll be doing that workshop myself, because I do distill. So, but I don't make anything that you shouldn't have. It's a good thing. It's a condenser style distilling, so it actually condenses with cold water. It's a really great thing. So people always want to know how to do that, and it's really, really a simple, fun thing to learn. Yeah, come, please do. Another thing, we'll have the Espanola Valley Arts Festival, which, you know, whatever Manny would like for us to do, we do that. And I know I would love to host the children, whatever you'd like for me to do. And I always work with Manny. You know, we've been working together for many years. So whatever he wants us to do, we usually get ahead of time. And, you know, they're a great organization to work with. I mean, they're just like on top of everything. I just do as they say, and it works out really well. And there's nothing better than artists really being happy. And at the end of the day on Sunday, everyone is so happy that they sold things, that people love their work. It's really a great event. It's one of the best I've seen, and I've been to many art fairs in the whole country, and this is really a great event. It's just so humbling and sweet to see people that are just so happy to see artists that, you know, like you, example, Deborah, you know, she goes out and picks these pine needles in Los Alamos and makes baskets with them. You can come and see her do it on Thursdays in the gallery. She sits there and makes her little baskets, and she's really a great person. She's a great example of that. But, and sure, of course, she's like a master potter and does great paintings on her pottery. I always get a piece of hers for my sister's little miniature doll houses. And so that's another thing that we collaborate with, the Arts Festival. Another thing we have coming up, which will be for the Thursdays for the month of September through the end of the year, we'll be hosting the Grandparents Raising Grandkids, which we did that last year, and we did some workshops with them as well. So that's something they're always looking for, a place to host. And we have a lot of their grandkids already that have been part of our groups and our classes. And then at the bottom here, I put the thing we add on everything. All classes are scheduled for groups of 5 or more ahead of time. So you guys can just call us. We do have our number on our website, Northern New Mexico Region, nnmrac.org, or it's also on the city webpage. It's on the Ultimate Guide. We also put it in the Rio Grande Sun, and we are actually working on advertising in the New Mexican as well, because there's a few new people that started working in the New Mexican, so that's our next venture, to move to the New Mexican. I think that would be good. And the Albuquerque Journal, and bring them here, you know. So any questions? Yes, sir.
I know that prior to COVID, you also used to have, I believe it was Dr. David Garcia and
Mhm.
teach music to the kids. Are you going to try and bring that?
So he actually he can do it on his own, and that's fine, because I was actually letting them, if they can have a key to actually go into it in the evenings on Tuesdays is what they want to do. And they are, David Garcia, can do as he pleases with our organization, because he's a master, and so is Jeremy. You know, they've been great teachers. They were teaching our accordion, guitar, and Jeremiah will teach pretty much anything. They were doing the thing where I think they're doing like these plays that they do on the radio, and they were practicing on Tuesdays. So that they're always welcome to do any of the classes they want to do. We also did that on during Zoom. They were doing ukulele and some guitar classes. And then I think what happened with COVID is it actually gave them more students. So now it expanded them now to where they're so busy that they now are doing one-on-one classes with people. And so with music was so different, because with music, they only got one thing. So for them to teach one person, it's probably easier for them to teach one person than to teach 20 people for, you know, at a time when it comes to music. I'm not a music person, but I sure enjoyed watching them and having that come back on. We did lose a lot of our students for those classes. And then, of course, the weaving, we were starting the weaving again. But yeah, Jeremiah Martinez and David are great, and they are always welcome to come. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, have them do it because, you know, David has his PhD. I mean, you know, they can set up their classes however they want. And I think they want to just do the Tuesdays and Thursdays and some Sundays as well. So, and that's fine. He can do with the Tuesdays. I think they want to open it to the adults to come in and do guitars, but also practice their, it's like a radio show that they're doing, and they're kind of imitating the Taos radio, the way they do that. Have you heard that? It's hilarious. It's like a comedy show. I heard them a few times. I sat there and I listened to them a few times. It was really good. So it's a group of them, and he's always welcome whenever he wants. Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Right.
To Radio KDCE.
What?
Casey Gallegos.
Right? Oh. Yeah, for sure. We always want to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, and Gabriela, I just want to, you know, thank you for all that you do. You're always busy, or, you know, I like to go over there, but when I catch you, because at night you're always on the go, you know, really appreciate all these events, all for the kids, everything, you know, you're great, you know, you're always busy, and the tours, everything else, you know, I just, thank you.
You're welcome.
I echo that. It's commendable what you do, and what you give back to our community. It's so appreciated. You have such a full schedule, and in addition to that, you volunteer in many committees, from the Arts Festival to the Fiesta Council to, you mentioned others here. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for all that you do, and all that you give back to our community. We're really fortunate to have you.
Thank you.
And I just want to ask you a quick question. So Las Cumbres is thinking about working with our individuals to create artwork, and we'd like to have an art show. So I would like to get with you to see what that entails.
Of course.
Pick a date. And we also have Compa from Los Alamos that is willing to sponsor this show for us. So we'd like to make it a big thing. And Sherry, if you would like to come and participate and help us do our paint nights, because we have no idea what we're doing, we'd appreciate it.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, of course, we would love to do that. Definitely. Give me a call. We'll put you on the calendar for a show, because I like to always have that ahead of time, and that we would love to do that.
We can do sometime in August, late August or something like that. And if that doesn't work, I don't know.
So the schedule we have here is booked for till the end of the year for the shows, but we can have you at the beginning of the year. Yeah, for sure. Because we usually book like a year in advance. So, and then if somebody falls out of the show, then we can have somebody else. We push people back up. So the schedule I have here for you guys is actually for Adrian would be November through December. But we can always, if somebody decides not to do a show, then we can always put you in there, but for sure. And that gives us enough time to actually, and actually that's a really good time, beginning of the year, like January, February is a great time. People know how much money they're going to have after taxes. It's a great show. It's a good time of the year. So I do have another person. She hasn't really picked April or March. So we have those 4 months kind of open. And then other people that pick and choose their months, of course. Definitely. Yeah, yes, Counselor. Thank you.
And so I have a question. We have a young woman sitting behind you. Do not recognize her. Can you introduce her to us? Is she part of your staff?
I'm not. I'm coming from the community.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to introduce myself. So,
Yes, please.
yeah, my name's Olivia Trina. I'm an intern with El Centro Family Health this summer. I'm studying public health, getting my master's, and just trying to get a scope of community services here in Espanola and Rio Rico County. So,
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you.
Excuse me. You're welcome.
Well, it looks like we had a full agenda, a lot of good information. And our next meeting is scheduled for July 17th at 6 o'clock. And I will adjourn this meeting at 7:40. Meeting adjourned.